Right, what we're doing is we're making the other side of the gate, so I'm just going to go through it so you can see how I did it. So I'll leave them to one side. The first part is the actual gate itself, 3 inches from there to there. So what I'm going to do is cut myself a piece of 3-inch Foamex board, just cut a piece strip straight off as it is. So I'll do that now. Right, so that was the first piece, so that's the height of the gate. Now I'm going to cut that off, which is the gates are 5.5 inches. So it's a matter of marking 2 gates, 5.5 and 5.5. Use a square. I'll just scrap these because I want the corners round anyway. So that's them. Just cut that off. Put that piece to one side. So now we're going to do the next part, which I did at, sorry about me being in English, it is 3/16. I don't do feet and metric, I'm sorry. So I'll just get a little bit sharper pencil than that. I don't like my pencils points quite neat because it makes it easier to see. So 3/16, 3/16, and draw a line. And then the same on the other side. 3/16, and then draw a line on that one. And now we've got to just put this little bit of a step in. So we're going to do 3/16 again, which is what I'll have done. I'll just make absolutely certain. Yep, it is. So we'll just do 3/16 again on the bottom one. Oh, the top one as it now will be. And draw another line. I'm not pressing hard with this, it's just drawing lines on it. Next one is these ways. So you've got 3/16 there, 3/16 there, there, and there. And same that way. And then you divide your centre piece, your piece in the middle, which is 5.5, leaves 2 3/4. So that's it, that is your centre line on that one, and that's the other piece. So now we need to make that out to 3/16 either side. So it's just a matter of dropping a line either side of that. Same there. Then going up. And that's that bit. So then what we've got to do is we've got to get the centre of that one. So we're going to go from the centres. So again, do it that way, corner to corner, corner to corner. All the way down. And the same with that one. And then turn it round and do them the opposite way. And the same with that one. That's it. So we've now drawn the crosses in, but now you've got to do the thickness. So again, what I tend to do is do it the other way around. I'll just get a smaller ruler so you can see. I don't get in the way too much with that one. And I draw it that way then. So what I do is literally go on there, look for 30 seconds now, so it's 3 either side, like so, and the same on this bit. Obviously, if you do this in metric, because you're used to it, it'd be simple for you to work out your equivalent in metric. So I would have said 5mm will probably be somewhere near where I am. So if you did 5, you'd do 2.5 either side, and so on and so forth, feet and inches. So now we're copying them lines back in again. And then turn them round so you can see them. Only fake lines, you don't want, you're not trying to make an impression on this. All you're doing is drawing a line so we can scrub round it and rub them off. That's that side, and then we go back again and do the other side. Again, we're just filling those in. Right, so what we've done now is we've drawn all these in. So what I'd do then is literally now where I need to be with each one is scrub it in. Just literally in between the lines I need. Like so. That's that one. And just work your way around. Wherever you want to go. Don't go on it over any lines. Same with that one. Right, that's them all marked on. So I do find it easy now to rub all my pencil lines what I didn't need, and just my centres and things like that. So I won't be tempted to go down one of them lines instead of the ones I need. And there we are. So we're now ready for cutting. It's so easy. And just follow it through. Don't go over. So what I've done is gone down every one, and like you can see it's more or less into each corner, but it's not quite. So the answer now is to go back, get rid of the curved blade and just go ordinary one and just release every corner. And you can feel it cut it into them. That's it. And then once you've done that, they're all out. Is any little tiny piece in the corner, just go along and just trim them out. You'll get the odd little piece, but nothing major. That's it. And then just literally put that one. Again with these, make sure you go right into the corners. You don't want to break them off, you just want to cut them off. Like so. And then cut them in half. And literally, we're just going to take a little corner off those. Like so. And that's the first part done. So now what we need, chuck all that away, is we need to make the baseboard. So we'll start on that rather than make anything else, because I need to stick these posts on. We'll show you how we make the posts. So now what I need to do is measure that piece and just make one identical, throw the wood in it, and we'll carry on from there. So I'll put them to one side. So there's my roller. Slightly longer one. So we need a piece 13 inches, and I think I did about 6 centimetres, because I did the planks at centimetres wide. So we need 6 centimetre piece coming off here. Square it up, always make sure, because I mean obviously you don't know if they've cut them to be dead square. Generally do actually, they're generally quite good. my bin. And then 6 centimetres. Which is there. And the same again at this end. And now we need to make it 13 inches long. And that's that piece. So now what I'll do is I'll just put some random sections in, just so it gives you a bit of that's that bit. And then what we'll do then, to give it a wood grain effect, I think you've seen this before, we'll literally give a slightly thinner point. This is my scrap what I use for engineering, so it's got a brand new piece in. So it's really sharp is this one. This one I use for marking deep ruts and whatever. But this one I can just follow in here. I don't bother if it goes 100% straight. We know it's not wood grain. It just gives it a little bit of texture so you can see. So that's the first piece. And what I did then was to get to my height of my sleepers was like looking at that, I've done a 5mm and a 3mm, so it'd be like whatever it is. So if I do a 5mm piece and then a 3mm piece, just to lift it up, that should do it. And I did make that, that's about right, about 1 inch thick. So I cut a 13-inch piece off there. That's that piece. All this is for is literally just to get the height of the sleepers, and then when you put the other sides in, the rods in, that's it. I just got a piece of track. What we're doing now is we're just literally packing that up, so it just brings it out of that height, and then we can drop that on there and that will go into there, so it brings it level with the track. So that's all it's for really. So I'll glue those on, bits of glue, Haven't seen this side of this Christmas yet, has it? First thing we've done. Same with that piece. Lovely, just activate that, save me playing about with it for hours. That's it, so that's just going to go on there like that. So now we've got those done. The next part is literally these posts, and what I did was, because this is 3mm, so I did that at 15mm and just stuck 3 pieces together, so it made up to a what you call it, 15mm square. So now the first thing to do is just make sure all these pieces are square. And then mark them at 15mm, at 115 centimetres, no, 15mm, isn't it? So I'm not good with this thing. 1.5 centimetres, if that seems even easier. That's it. So that way, what I've done now is cut those, just made up a block. So I'm just literally making a block up out of them. That's all I'm doing. So again, I'll glue them together. So it's just sandwiching in together, that's all it is. The same with that one. Again, sandwich it together. That's it. Something just to rub it on. If you never want it to stick to anything, that blow is unreal. Nothing sticks to it. So if you want them to level out, making sure they're all level, and then activate it. That's one piece. If you ever want something to work on where you don't want it to stick to the board, just put a piece of Foamex up the other way around. That's it. Get them pretty level. Again, just seal them. Square one of the bottoms off. A little bit more tricky to cut this one because it's been a bit thicker. Once you get it square, it's pretty reasonable. And then what we do then is, because I'm going to do them to the same of these, is I'll measure one of those with the little ruler, and I made those 4 inches high, so my bottom square edge 4 inches. Now if you wanted to do the posts where they have a taller one, obviously just make one of them taller and then put the big bar down to support it. So again, just cut this one off. That's all I do with that. And then what I do then is I just cut the corner off. Now, oops, that's it. A little bit of envy just to tidy everything up. Same with that one. Bit finer as well. We buy this in the reels. It's easier to handle. It's a little bit tougher. I didn't use it for my engineering, but it comes in handy for Foamex as well. And then just literally tidy that top up. And then just making sure we glue this in here, making sure it's square, which it is. I can see my distances there, I've just got a little bit to play with. So the first job is drop on the bottom. These sometimes get knocked off by trains and such like, so at the end of the day I'm quite happy that they're not set in stone sort of thing, and you're making all the effort to make sure they don't come off. And because if they do get knocked off, it's not a big job just to replace them, just put another piece in. So there's our face post in. So that's as simple as that. So we're now getting to where we're starting to get a gate-like structure set up. So we've got that, there's that part, so I've just got the other end to do. Oops. So again, I can just pop that there. And we're working our way along. So now I'll just make the other one of those, finish it off, and pop that off. So now we've got the two gates, so we're going to pop them together, like so. And then just mark that where that one goes. So we've got that one. Oops. So we've got that. Now we've got a piece to put in here now, because obviously these gates was operated on a square rod which would spin them round. So that was fastened to this and it was bolted to that. And then underneath was the actual mechanism, so it turned the square and it made it open. So we now got to put them bits in. So what we've got now is we've got to get that piece. So what I did was two little squares like so in there, and a piece of square 5mm. So I won't stick that on yet because obviously you set all this up as you're building it, you've got to build all these pieces up. All these need just rubbing in as well. Before I forget to tell you that bit, the opposite side where you cut it's a real nice clean cut, but obviously it wants to be the other way. So now we're gonna cut some 3mm squares. Yeah, it was 3mm, so I just need a little piece of 3mm board. I could actually use black. That'll do, mate. A bit of something lying about. So because we want it square, we'll cut that at 3mm. I can't see 3mm. And the same with that one. And that is that piece inside, and that would be bolted on, and that would rotate like that, and that would make the gate go around. So we've cut them pieces. We then got a piece there which, looking at, that's a 1/4. So I've cut myself a 1/4 of an inch off. So these are made like a 1/4 of an inch, so I'll just do some little 1/4 inch squares. That's it. So just 4 of those. Measure how far up the gate we'd gone with them, so get them somewhere near 3/8 off the bottom and 1/2 inch at the top. So what do you do with that? 3/8 and 1/2 inch, like that. And the same there. Literally, we've drawn that just so it matches up to that. And then what we'll do is we're just going to stick little pieces on. Just like so. And the same with that one, like so. So that's literally giving that effect. So now what we're going to do is put that square bar in between. I'll just speed these up a touch, just so you're not waiting forever for it to dry. Then what I did was I cut one of these to suit in between, and I just put it at a slight angle. So that's just a shade tight, so I need the slightest amount of it. And then put it in like that. So instead of putting it in square, I put it in like a diamond formation. So it's just slightly the other way. So a little bit of glue on there. Bit on there, bit on there. Just do it nice and neat with the eye. That's it. Lovely, that'll do, mate. I say it'll do, man. I keep trying to move it. That's better. Happy, you know. So that's that piece, like so. And then we just cut a couple of little pieces. If you look, there's a little bit either way. So the bottom one goes to the floor, which is about 3mm past there. That one goes there, and then the one on the top is just a little piece. So again, just like that. So that one lines up with that one, and that one just lines up with that one. Obviously, if you want to make this a lot more refined, please do. Don't, you know, the old adage is, if you can do it better, then do it better. Just literally blow that, centre it up on the actual board. This one, yeah, that's it. Right, what I've done is just centred it onto there and just glued it on. Obviously it's up in the middle now, so it's not on the floor. And that should be there. And that's the first gate put up together. So now I've just got to redo the other one. And now we've got the other side to do. But before, I mean, obviously I can do the other side. I won't show you putting that on because it only took me about 3 or 4 minutes. And what I'll do now is I'll show you how I cut the circles out and do the circles to stick on there. So that's the next stage. So I'll just leave that there. I want a piece of 3mm. Lovely. Only got writing on the back. That diameter there would be 1.5. I need my compass or my scribe at 1.5. I think they're just in here. So 1.5 equals 3/4. 1.5 inch full circle. So I just literally draw a circle. This should be at 3/4 because this one don't move. Just pop that in there. This is a two-pointed one, so I've made them quite sharp. And then just follow it round. Try and turn the actual Foamex because you'll find it easier than trying to turn the other part. So I'll go all the way around, and you should find if you get it all right through, you've got a hole on the other side, and just repeat it. That's the circle, square edge through the centre. That's it, and then just carefully cut round it. Obviously it's never going to be 100%, but it's only a matter of just rubbing it off and just looking at it. We tend to stick the same emery paper. I'll stick to a piece of Foamex and make some little files to do it with. That's that one, and then just cut that one in half. And literally measure where the other one was for me, and that you're looking at 3/4 of an inch. So it's 3/4 of an inch on this gate, which is approximately there. So I need to be level with that, and just literally stick that on there. So it's a bit of glue on here. That's it, get it spread right across. That's it. Try not to get your fingers in like I've just done. That's it. Told you I'd got my fingers in it. That one's like that. If you do get a bit of mug dirty marks on like that, you can either just carefully scrape them off, as believe it or not, that is just dirt off your fingers. And there we are, that's the first part in there, like so. So right, now what we're doing is we're now going to offer this one up. So it's literally a matter of glue on the bottom, like so. I'll just give it a bit of an activator, and then just offering it up to those gates so you can see it lines up. Oops. Yeah. That's it, perfect, I'm happy with that. And then that one can stick in there like so. There's a little gap in between, but they are separate gates. You don't want them touching. They wouldn't touch in real life. And there we are, that's the next part completed. And as you can see, we're now starting to look like a set of gates. I'm now going to put a bit of mesh on it. So I've got that mesh set up safe somewhere. I think I'll put it under here to keep it square. Yep. This one is Isopon aluminium mesh for repairing cars, just for body filling. And I literally just stuck a piece on. Now you could put a metal bar across there because it probably would have one on, but again, it's your individual taste. So it was 1 3/8. That, whoopsie daisy, like so, like so. Just give myself a bit of space. So 1 3/8, 1 3/8. Make sure you look reasonable. And just cut yourself a strip off. And then the same again. Now. That's it. And we still got some for steps. You know, you could put them onto low-cost steps, glue them on and then paint them. It'd look like it had the grid pattern, wouldn't it? There's loads of little uses for them. And then you've got the distance in between. Obviously we don't want to go past those 5 1/2, so if I make them 5 1/4 or 5 3/8, they'll just fit in nicely. So 5 3/8 that way. You need to be cutting it when you're doing it on. That's it, line it up with the lines. Keep that piece. Same again. Just measure it because it's easier. And if you run it where it's parallel with the in there, you should get it somewhere near square as well. Put that bit back in there. Obviously the reason we keep it under here, it keeps it nice and flat. Saves it going buckled. Because if you buckle it, I mean it is designed to buckle and to stretch around other parts. So it's easier just to keep it there. So now we're going to just stick that on the back. So we're just literally dropping that in there like so. So it's a bit of super glue. Get that a quick spray just to make sure it catches everything when it goes on. Drop it on so it's reasonably level and then just hold it in place while it grabs. Right, so there we are, that's the pieces on the back. So that's just the wire mesh to stop anybody going through. I'll put that there, like so. Nice big gate if you was having both sides. And there we are, that's that part done. So the next part, believe it or not, we're literally going to cut some small strips to go on there, just some angle brackets. The only bit I haven't done, and I've just realised I didn't do, is a little tiny plastic piece. So I did literally cut a piece for there. You'll see it on the other one, so it's well worth putting on. And I did that 5/8 by 5/8. So it's a matter of cutting a piece 5/8 that way. Cut yourself a piece off and 5/8 that way. Like so. And then that's that piece. And then what I did was I used the 3mm, I think, yeah. I just literally cut myself some wedges. Like so. And then cut the front off. Like so. Match that one back up. And then glued them to there, just to represent those little bits in the track to hold the gates closed. There's one on there, yeah, that's about right. one on there. That's it. And I'll make them neat. And that, what we're going to do is just literally slide that up to there, where them two gates are, just so it holds them in position like that. That is it complete at the back. Get it looking a bit rusty like Pat's done with the bits and pieces. I think they look absolutely ace. Right, so what I've done now, so this is the one we'd done earlier, just like Blue Peter. There's one we made earlier. Literally, like I say, it's just these brackets. Just a little piece of plastic card just stuck on to cut, just to give it some form thingy. But it is easier to spray them black or paint them black prior to putting them on, because painting them when they're on there is a nightmare. It's not easy. And that, I hope you enjoy, is a set of gates.